After checking the whole text carefully, there is no channel name mentioned anywhere in this transcript, no welcome to channel, no this is channel, no self-promo lines. It reads like a pure Reddit-style story post, AITA or relationship_advice vibe, not a YouTube narration script with channel branding. So I've simply cleaned it to pure narration, exact spoken words preserved, minor typos fixed only for smooth read-aloud flow without changing meaning or style, removed things like look you'll meta asides that feel like post-text rather than spoken, ready for voiceover. If this was meant to include a channel name somewhere I missed, or if you want any other tiny tweaks, e.g. remove y'all entirely, make it more formal, just say so. Otherwise, here is the final narration-ready text. After spending 9 hours driving my mother-in-law to her dialysis appointments all week, I came home to my wife getting drunk with her friends on the porch. One of them smirked and said, "He's like a dog. Obedient, pathetic, and too dumb to run away." My wife laughed so hard she spilled her wine and added, "Don't insult dogs. At least they're loyal and useful." They all laughed like hyenas. I got angry and went to bed early. 3 weeks later, she was screaming at my sister's door in the rain, begging for a second chance. Been married to my wife for 8 years now. Both 34, no kids. Thank God for small mercies right about now. Things were decent enough until recently. Not perfect, but whose marriage is? We had our ups and downs, but I always thought we were on the same team. My mother-in-law got diagnosed with kidney failure 3 months back. Tough situation. Her dialysis schedule is brutal. 3 mornings a week, starts at 5:30 a.m. at a clinic that's a 45-minute drive from her place. My wife works these corporate hours that just can't be adjusted, according to her. So I've been the one taking time off to drive her. Not complaining about helping family, but it's been rough on the sleep schedule. This past week was especially tough. My mother-in-law caught some kind of bug, so I ended up driving her to extra appointments, totaling about 9 hours of driving, plus all the waiting room time. By Friday, I was running on fumes. Friday evening rolls around. I pull into our driveway around 7:30 p.m. after dropping her off. First thing I notice is my wife's friend Bridget's car, plus 2 others I recognize from her work happy hours. Figured they were hanging out while I was gone. I'm dragging myself toward the house when I hear them all laughing on the back porch. Our bedroom window was open, so I figured I'd grab a quick shower before joining them. That's when I heard it. Bridget was talking about how I jumped when my wife asked me to take her mom again. Then she goes, "He's like a dog. Obedient, pathetic, and too dumb to run away." The blood in my veins turned to coolant. I froze halfway through taking off my boots. Then I heard my wife laugh so hard she must have spilled something cause she cursed and then said, "Don't insult dogs. At least they're loyal." And the whole porch erupted in laughter like a bunch of hyenas who found something real funny about the guy who'd been up since 4 a.m. helping her sick mother. I stood there for a solid minute just processing. 8 years of marriage and that's what she really thinks of me, that I'm some pathetic mutt she's got trained to do her bidding. My first instinct was to storm out there and flip that whole porch table with their wine glasses and cheese plate. But something inside me just went cold and mechanical. I quietly finished taking off my boots, went upstairs, and took the longest shower of my life. When I came down, I just said I was exhausted from driving my mother-in-law around all week and was heading to bed early. My wife barely acknowledged me, just waved her wine glass in my direction and went back to her conversation. That night I laid there staring at the ceiling fan, watching it spin round and round like my thoughts. Remembered all the little comments, the eye rolls when I'd talk about my day, the way she'd interrupt me mid-sentence to show her friends something on her phone. 3:27 a.m. and I'm still wide awake, scrolling back through text messages. Found one from last month where I asked if she could pick up some groceries on her way home. Her response, "Can't you do it? Not like you have anything important going on today." I was installing a new water heater that day after hours went out. Apparently that wasn't important. Driving my mother-in-law to her 5:30 a.m. appointment Saturday, I had a real heart-to-heart with my old F-150. By the time I got back home, I knew what I needed to do. First call was to my buddy Maxwell. Told him everything. His response, "Brother, you're not a dog. You're a goddamn workhorse they're riding into the ground while they laugh about it. Second call was to my financial advisor. Turns out there's a lot you can do to protect yourself when you're married to someone who sees you as nothing more than a useful pet. The real kicker, my mother-in-law has no idea how her daughter talks about me. Sweet woman actually thanked me yesterday. Had tears in her eyes when she said she didn't know what she'd do without my help. Told me I was the son she never had. Over the weekend I've been real quiet. My wife hasn't noticed anything different. Too busy with her social schedule to see the change in my eyes. But something shifted inside me like a transmission dropping into low gear. Slow, powerful, unstoppable. Do you ever wonder how someone can share your bed for 8 years and not see you as a human being worthy of basic respect? 'Cause that's the question that's been keeping me up for 3 straight nights now. I'm helping my mother-in-law again tomorrow morning. We'll keep driving her to appointments as long as she needs. But as for my wife, let's just say this obedient dog is about to show her exactly what happens when you kick something loyal one too many times. Been researching my options, making plans, documenting everything. This isn't going to be some dramatic confrontation with shouting and door slamming. Nah, this is going to be precise, methodical, and by the book, like dismantling an engine piece by piece. Has anyone else discovered their spouse secretly despises them? How did you handle it? Next dialysis appointment is at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. Going to catch a few hours of sleep before the alarm goes off. Update section. Spoken as continuation. About 2 weeks ago I posted about overhearing my wife compare me to a pathetic, obedient dog while I've been driving her mom to dialysis appointments 3 times a week. I've been killing myself helping my mother-in-law while my wife sits around mocking me with her friends behind my back. Holy smoke alarm, I wasn't expecting that kind of response. Thanks to everyone who offered advice or shared similar stories. It helped me realize I wasn't overreacting. Day 1 after the post, contacted my bank, set up a separate account my wife doesn't have access to, redirected my direct deposit. Left enough in the joint account to cover regular bills for now. Day 2, called my mother-in-law's doctor's office and rescheduled her treatments to later in the day when possible. Still have to do some early mornings, but got it down to once a week instead of 3. My wife noticed nothing. Day 3, the confrontation. We were sitting at the kitchen table. She was half paying attention to something I was saying about the leaky bathroom faucet, and I just laid it out. I said, I heard what you said about me to your friends that night on the porch. Her head snapped up. First she tried denial. Then minimizing. It was just girl talk. Everyone vents about their partners. I asked her if she thought it was normal to compare your spouse to a pathetic animal while they're exhausting themselves helping your sick mother. That's when the waterworks started. Not genuine tears, more like sizzling on a hot pan. She apologized, but it was one of those I'm sorry you feel that way non-apologies. Day 4, called her brother Reed. Played him the audio recording of that night. Yeah, I recorded it. Texas is a one-party consent state. Reed went through confusion, disbelief, anger, embarrassment, and finally cold disappointment. Day 5 to 7, radio silence from her family. Found out later Reed played the recording for my mother-in-law. She cried for an hour straight, then called my wife and tore into her. At home I went full grey rock. Became emotionally unavailable. No more cooking her favorite meals, no more picking up her messes, no more asking about her day. Just idling in neutral. Day 8, she came home with flowers and my favorite takeout, trying to act sweet. I ate the food, said thanks, and went to the spare bedroom. Day 10, called my sister. She offered her guest room for as long as I needed. Day 12, Bridget showed up unannounced to apologize. Dropped that my wife had been bad-mouthing me for months. How I'm simple, easy to manipulate. Day 13, execution day. Rented a small moving truck, had buddies help. Cleared out exactly half of everything. Left her half neatly organized. Wrote a simple note, I'm moving out, marriage is over, will continue helping your mom, contact through email. Texts flooded in, confusion, realization, anger, bargaining. Responded once, I'm safe, staying with family, all other communication through email. Then muted her. Day 14, Took my mother-in-law to her appointment. She held my hand, said no matter what happens, I'll always be family to her. Called a divorce attorney. Consultation scheduled. I'm surprisingly calm. Feel unburdened, like I've been hauling a trailer with faulty brakes for years and suddenly it's unhooked. Final update. When I last left off, my soon-to-be ex had shown up at my sister's house in the rain, pounding on the door, screaming. I felt nothing, no anger, no pity, just calm certainty. Played her additional recordings, not just the dog comment, but others where she bragged about manipulating me. She left without another word. Divorce proceedings started. Met with mediator. She showed up defeated. We divided everything fairly in under 2 hours. She's keeping the house and mortgage, I'm keeping my truck and tools. As we were leaving, she asked to talk privately. For the first time, a real apology. Said she'd taken me for granted for years. Never thought about what would happen if I wasn't there to fix everything. I thanked her, told her I hoped she found what she was looking for, and walked away. For 8 years I'd been the fixer. Never occurred to me that sometimes the best fix is knowing when to walk away from a machine that can't be repaired. Divorce will be final in a couple months. My mother-in-law's health is improving. Might be a candidate for a kidney transplant next year. I've been spending weekends helping my buddy with his deck project. Payment in beer and barbecue. Life ain't perfect. Apartment has weird noises in the pipes. Neighbor's dog barks at 5 a.m. Still sometimes reach across the bed expecting someone there. But for the first time in a long while, I'm not someone's tool or someone's dog. I'm just me, a guy with his own set of wrenches figuring out how to rebuild an engine that got badly misused. Thanks for riding shotgun with me through all this.